Hey, what's going on, guys? As promised, I'm here. So I'm going to get us started with the victors, and then I'm going to give my post game commentary, and then I'm going to end this stream. Ohio State is on right now. Michigan State is on right now. And yeah, I'm curious to see what's happening in those games. And so this is going to be quick, depending upon the participation that I get from you guys. But I'm going to start us with the victors, and then I'm going to jump into it. So here we go. The like button. All right, guys. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Dr. Anwar Youssef Dunbar, and this is Big Discussions 76 Sports. First of all, please like this stream / playback. Please share it, and please subscribe to my channel. Well, guys, the Michigan just defeated Penn State out in Happy Valley. I'm going to jump into that. I'm going to get a little philosophical in the beginning first, and I'm just going to say, guys, life is delicate, life is precious. Someone close to me, her and her family are going through things, and I just want to dedicate this show to them. We deliberate over the players and how the players messed up and how the coaches messed up, and how bad it is that our team falls in the rankings and even falls out of the rankings and doesn't make the college football playoff, for X amount of years, and doesn't beat Ohio State for years. And we get on here and we argue over that and we debate that back and forth. But hey, guys, life is precious. Life is not promised, the next day. You just never know what's going to happen in life. So I just wanted to say that. The other thing is that someone said something to me this morning, and I've been showing this in front of each of my live streams, all of my videos. A part of when you're trying to launch something, a major part of that is marketing. So I've been upfront, about you guys that I came to YouTube as a writer, and one of the reasons I started this sports channel is because I'm writing a sports book. So I'm just going to show this really quickly. And the reason I'm showing this is because someone said something to me this morning. When you're starting your own thing, sometimes you're deviating from the traditional path of working a 9-to-5. And someone really tried to crack the whip on me this morning. And I had to tell this person, I have a dream, And right now I'm pursuing my dream. And, until this crossroads I'm at gets settled out, I'm going to be working on this and not really worrying about anything else. So guys, this is my dream. It's this book, The Engineers of Western New York Basketball Story. It's my first experience with athletics, and it's a narrative story about what athletics teaches you about life, success, and failure. That's in the description box below in case you want to read about it. Part of this is marketing. A lot of people come to YouTube because they have something else that they're working on. So there you go. So I'm not going to belabor this because we have a football game to talk about. So I'm going to minimize this. This is in the description box below in case you want to read about it. I have about 12 promotional essays that I have in the pipeline right now as I figure out how to try to finish this thing. But the reason you all are here, the two of you, maybe some more people will trickle in. Ohio State's on, Michigan State's on. People might be out running errands or doing whatever it is they're doing. But let's talk about what just happened out in Happy Valley. So I'm going to do my screen share. I have the box score pulled up. And I also have notes, just like I did 2 weeks ago for that debacle up in East Lansing. So I'm going to show the box score, and I'm going to discuss my observations of the game. And then we're going to look at the final two games on Michigan's schedule. And then I will wrap this up. So here we go. Also, guys, as you know, the Super Chat is live. If you want to Super Chat any comments to me, you're welcome to do so. You're under no pressure to do so. And my Cash App and PayPal, let me slow down. And my Cash App and PayPal are beneath this stream if you want to donate something. Of course, you're under no pressure to do so. So, guys, the Michigan defeated Penn State 21-17 out at Beaver Stadium in State College, or as they call it, Happy Valley. I went to go watch the game at Blackfin Ameripub in Northern Virginia in Arlington. The manager played a joke on me when I first walked in because the game wasn't on. And he looked at me with a straight face and said, "Oh, the game has been canceled." And I was like, "Really?" I thought it might have been blacked out or something like that. But then he looked at me and he started laughing and he said, No, the game is on. Let me change the station. So the game was on. And by the time I got out there, I got a late start because I had to shoot a science video. And we were partway through the first quarter, and Penn State was up 3-0. And as you can see here on the box score, Penn State basically won that first quarter 3-0. And it looked like throughout that game early on, Sean Clifford was able to move the Penn State offense up and down the field at will. Okay. And I think they held the ball for quite a long time. Michigan didn't get on the board until the second quarter. I have a comment here. Let me see who's commenting. Uh-oh. I'm surprised he's here. His team is on right now, Mr. Buckeye Alex. Last I checked, Ohio State was up, 21-7? They're probably up 21-8 right now. And Michigan State was up 7-0 over Maryland up in East Lansing. So, again, I'm going to finish the stream so I can go ahead and watch Ohio State. Funny thing is I usually don't end up watching Ohio State until we get into the middle of the season towards the end, right before we're about to play them. So I want to take a look at what's happening back there. But anyway, Michigan didn't get on the board until the second quarter when Cade McNamara hit Roman Wilson in the end zone for the Wolverines' first score and their first touchdown. That was at 5 minutes. That was with 5 minutes and 49 seconds left on the clock. Let's see what we got here. Buckeye Alex says Ohio State is up. Yep, 28-7. Let's see. Denzel Merritt says they're kicking Purdue's ass. Don't even watch. Well, I got to see what's going on. I got to see who's coming into the big house in about 2 weeks. I usually don't watch them until this time this season. So I've heard much of what's going on via word of mouth. I did watch some of the loss to Oregon, but I haven't watched them much since then. Okay, so Michigan got on the board with 5 minutes and 49 seconds left in the second quarter. I believe I've written down a fourth down call at 1:35. I think Michigan um, had the ball on fourth down. I think we were in our own territory, and Jim decided to go for it, or Josh Gaddis decided to go for it, and we didn't convert. The score at halftime, and I think after that call, I think Penn State drove the ball down the field and got a field goal. Yeah, so we scored 7 points in the second quarter. Penn State scored 3. At halftime, the score was 7-6. Okay, 80. Okay, got some smack talk here. Buckeye Alex says it's our house, and Denzel Merritt says really Purdue is shooting themselves in the foot. Okay, yep. Well, that happens against Ohio State. Let's see. Denzel Merritt says Eric All was all in. Yep, I'm finally happy to see Eric All become a factor. And I didn't know Eric All was a junior. I thought he was like a freshman, or I thought he was a sophomore or something like that. But during the broadcast, Sean McDonough and the guy he was doing the broadcast with, they said he was a junior. So he only has 1 or 2 years left. So at halftime, the score was 7-6 with Michigan up. The third quarter, Michigan's drive at the beginning of the third quarter was very, very impressive. They came out and they asserted themselves. They moved the ball on the ground. They moved the ball through the air, and they seemed to just march that ball down the field for another Roman Wilson score with 11 minutes and 50 seconds left on the clock. And that was set up by an Eric All catch. Cade McNamara had dropped back, and the pressure was closing in on him, and he stayed poised. He got the ball off. Eric All was right over there in the flat. Eric All caught it, ran the ball at the sidelines. It got knocked out of bounds, and then that set up the Roman Wilson touchdown catch. Okay, we have some more smack talk here. Buckeye Alex says Denzel Purdue is too cute. That's why they're making mistakes. Denzel says ugly game, but that's Big Ten ball. Go blue. Okay, you guys have at it right there in the chat. Let's see. I think Michigan punted with 3 minutes and 10 seconds left. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left in the third quarter. Yeah, and so after that impressive drive to open up the second half, then it was, can Michigan deliver the knockout blow to Penn State? Can they put this game away? They were up 14-6. One more touchdown. That changes the complexion of the rest of the game. But the offense went on one of its droughts. There were a couple of 3-and-outs. There were some drives that didn't end in field goals or touchdowns. And so it very much kind of felt like the Michigan State game where you're gripping and you're clutching and you're saying, okay, just deliver the knockout punch. Just deliver the knockout punch. Just come on, guys. Just deliver the knockout punch. And that knockout punch never came. And then let's see, you in the fourth quarter, you had that on the kickoff. Let's see. My box score here. Yeah, so we scored in the third quarter. Penn State didn't. But one of the key plays was that that collision between A.J. Henning and his teammate, and the ball. Penn State was able to field the ball right there at their 1. And so now the Michigan offense, instead of starting out at the 20, now they're starting down at the 1. And now it's okay, are they going to get a safety? Is something else bad going to happen? And at 13 minutes and 1 second left, there was a 3-and-out. And then Penn State got the ball and scored a touchdown with 7 minutes and 35 seconds left on the clock to make the game 14-12. And then they converted on their 2-point conversion. Michigan is having a hard time this year stopping 2-point conversions. So now the score is 14-zip. Now you are staring down potentially losing your second game. You're staring down letting another one slip away, and you're staring down just a dumpster fire. In the fourth quarter, um, Michigan scored 7 points. Penn State scored 11. So let's see. 6 minutes and 45 seconds left. I have Penn State sack fumble. Cade McNamara fumbled the ball on a sack in the fourth quarter. And at that point, you're like, okay, this is Michigan State all over again. Another embarrassing loss on the road to a ranked opponent. And we're just going to watch the season go down the tubes. At 5 minutes and 57 seconds, Penn State went up 17-14. They couldn't get in the end zone, but they scored a field goal. And then Michigan got the ball back, and you're wondering, okay, can the offense, we've been on a bit of a drought since the opening drive of the second half. Does the offense have anything left? Can they score the go-ahead touchdown? And they, as a matter of fact, they did on a pass play. Mike Sanders still crossed over to the left. Eric All crossed over to the right. Cade McNamara hit him, and Eric All stampeded. He's a big guy. I was going to say scamper. Scamper is usually for a smaller, more elusive player, but Eric All got the ball and he stampeded up the sideline, extended the ball out, hit the pylon, and Michigan scored the touchdown. But then there were 3 minutes and 29 seconds left on the clock. So you're thinking, okay, well, we scored, but we left a veteran quarterback like Sean Clifford too much time. And then the Penn State offense took the field, and they weren't able to get anything done. And they turned the ball over on downs with 2 minutes and 51 seconds left. And then Michigan was able to grind out the clock on the ground, and they escaped with the win. Let's see. A couple things stood out to me. What's interesting is Sean McDonough, and this is gonna fly in the face of what many of you guys have said about Jimbo. Guys, please hit the like button. I see you guys quarreling there in the chat. I see Little Rock 2517 has shown up. Thank you for stopping through. Please hit that like button. Let's see. Before I finish up, let me do this for everyone watching on the playback. Buckeye Alex just can't resist the trash talking. But I guess that's part of what makes this fun, is the trash talking. Give me 1 second here, guys. Yeah, please hit that like button. If anyone wants to make a donation, this is for folks in the playback or folks watching. My Cash App and PayPal are there. The super chat is live. If you want to super chat anything, you're under no pressure to do so. Alex and Denzel, you guys keep your back and forth going. I'm going to see what you guys are talking about once I get finished with my talking points. Sean McDonough and his co-host, I can't think of who it was, might have been Blackledge or someone else. They said around the 2-minute warning that Jim is a tremendous football coach. And as well, here on this channel, Jim has received his fair share of criticism. And so I thought it was interesting that Sean McDonough and his co-host, who I can't think of who that was, they gave Jim his credit. They gave him credit. They said he's a tremendous coach. So Hassan Haskins, let's take a look at the statistics. On the Michigan side, Google always loads in the defensive players statistics last for whatever reason, though I might check ESPN as well before I finish this stream. But as you can see, Cade McNamara went 19 for 29 for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. We didn't see J.J. McCarthy this week. So that's interesting. Maybe Jim has said, all right, that's enough of that for now. So I didn't see J.J. McCarthy during this game, which was fine by me. So Cade McNamara went 19 for 29 for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. There was that fumble, but he did not throw any interceptions. Cade got criticized, I think, by Devin Gardner for holding on to the ball too long and waiting for the receiver to make his break before throwing it. But Cade stands in there when the pressure's coming in and he gets the ball out. I think that's a good thing. He doesn't panic. He on that Eric All reception that set up the Roman Wilson's second touchdown, or was it his first touchdown? Look at my notes here. Yeah, that was the second touchdown. No, that was Roman Wilson's first touchdown. Guys, please hit that like button. That was another play where Cade McNamara stood back there. The pocket was collapsing, and he got the ball out. So, and those, for all of his faults, for his being a game manager and not being that 5-star blue chip quarterback, he stands in the pocket and he makes throws, and he doesn't turn the ball over often. So, Hassan Haskins carried the ball 31 times for 156 yards for an average of 5 yards per carry. And that's significant because Blake Corum was out for this game. So the story is, during the Indiana game, Blake came out of the locker room with the boot on. So Hassan Haskins got the majority of the carries, and he produced. He and the offensive line produced for us. Donovan Edwards didn't get much done. Eric All caught 4 balls for 64 yards and 1 touchdown. Cornelius Johnson caught 3 balls for 51 yards. Hassan Haskins caught 5 balls for 45 yards. And Roman Wilson caught 3 balls for 31 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let me go back to Hassan Haskins. Hassan Haskins arguably kept our team in that game with just his sheer will and his fighting for those extra yards and extending the ball out and just doing a little bit extra. And you really have to credit that kid and his toughness and his willingness to fight for those extra yards. That very much kept us in this ball game. So Mike Sanders Andrew Anthony had a quiet game, 1 reception for 13 yards. Mike Sanders still had 2 receptions for 11 yards, and Shoemaker had 1 reception for 2 yards. Let's see. We really didn't rely on Jake Moody today, other than the extra points, which is a good thing. I'm going to pull up the ESPN website to see if they have the defensive stats for us. But before I do, let's take a look at what Penn State did on offense, because Penn State was able to move the ball on offense today. And I think that says something about how this defense may play against Ohio State. At certain points, Penn State went to the tempo. That hurt us. Sean Clifford was hurt. He wasn't 100%. He didn't look 100%. He was a little bit gimpy. And that running back really hurt us today. So this was just keeping everything in context and in perspective. You had a hurt quarterback. Their top wide receiver went out late in the game. And we're going to see a more complete offense, perhaps the best in the conference, in 2 weeks. So you got to look at this win. They say in sports a W is a W, but got to keep this win in perspective. It was a gutsy win on the road, but you got to keep it in perspective. So Sean Clifford went 23 for 43, So he was putting it up quite a bit. He threw for 205 yards and 1 touchdown. Jordan Stout, I think, came in briefly in relief of him. Kevon Lee, I think this is the running back who was hurting us. He wasn't getting out and breaking off long runs. He was going in behind the line and then jumping out and then bursting forward. So that's how he was hurting us. But our defense seemed to bottle it up to some degree later on in the game. So John Lovett carried the ball 4 times for 17 yards, and Sean Clifford carried the ball 16 times for 16 yards. Let's see. The Nittany Lions were led by Parker Washington. He caught the ball 4 times for 92 yards. Jahan Dotson, he was hurting us. He caught the ball 9 times for 61 yards, and Theo Johnson caught the ball 4 times for 28 yards. So they got balanced production, but it wasn't a stellar, high-powered offense from Penn State. So let me see if I can pull up the defensive stats here on ESPN. And keep in mind, the game just ended probably about an hour and a half ago. So I thought Aiden Hutchinson and David Ajabo, they were able to get back there when they needed to, and they were able to bother Sean Clifford when they needed to, but they were able to move the ball on us. And, that may be a harbinger of what's to come when Buckeye Alex's team comes to the big house in a week and a half. In 2 weeks. It's 2 weeks. Let's see. Let's see if ESPN has the box score here. And all the stats. Let's see, ESPN. They have the play-by-play. They have the quarters broken down for us. Full box score. Yeah, see, ESPN has all the stats. Google doesn't. Guys, if you're new coming in, please hit that like button. I'm going to pull up the ESPN stats really quickly because I want to see what Buckeye Alex's team is doing. Let's see. Please hit that like button, guys. I see more folks coming in. Let's see. So the Michigan defense, Jake Colson had 12 tackles. Josh Ross had 11. I don't know what it is, but a lot of our defensive backs were leaving interceptions on the field, and those interceptions could help swing the momentum of the game. And Johnny Olden pointed this out in some of his earlier content from this season. Our defensive backs, when those are there, you got to pull that ball in and secure that turnover. Let's see. Aiden Hutchinson had 7 tackles. Aiden had 3 sacks. So Aiden was getting back there and bothering Sean Clifford. Jake Holston had a half sack. David Ojabo had 2 sacks. Michael Barrett, I believe that's Michael Barrett, had 1 sack. So our defense and Jay Welshoff had a half sack. So Penn State was able to move the ball, but our pass rushers were able to get back there, I think, when they needed to. Let's see. They were able to get pressure on Cade. This let me see if I can pronounce this. Ebekiti. He got 2 sacks on Cade, but that was it. Otherwise, Cade was protected pretty well today, or he got the ball off. Let me see how many total yards Penn State put up. Let me see if they have the time of possession here. Because again, this is going to have bearing on what we see when Buckeye Alex's team comes to town. Let's see, ESPN, do you have the time of possession and the total yards? Okay. Yeah, so total yards, So it was pretty even. Michigan put up 361 total yards, and Penn State put up or generated 332 total yards. Both teams turned the ball over once, and the time of possession was pretty even. It was split, and the first downs were split as well. So it was a pretty even matchup in terms of offensive production. But I think at the end of the day, as a Michigan fan, what you wanted to see was the Wolverines throw that knockout punch in the third quarter, especially after coming out and looking as good as they did at the beginning of that third quarter. And then the offense just kind of went away somewhere. The defense had to keep us in the game, and Penn State tied the score, and they went up by 3 points. And then the offense came back alive late in the fourth quarter. Against Ohio State, that's not gonna get it done. It's just not gonna get it done. So I don't know. You guys tell me. It's a young team. We lost Ronnie Bell in the first game of the season. But I think that they've rebounded well, but they're going to need to generate more points and more offense consistently to have a chance to beat Ohio State when they come into the big house in 2 weeks. I was going to say something else, and it slipped my mind.
This is the dimension of imagination.
I think that's hold on, that's the ESPN website. Hold on. All right. Yeah, they're going to need more production. Either that, or there's going to have to be some combination of the defense clamping down on Ohio State and the offense scoring just enough, or our offense is going to have to put up more points. But this is not going to get it done against our friends from down south in Columbus. And then so we'll hear more trash talking after the game and for the entire offseason. What the hell?
This is the dimension of imagination.
Okay, I'm going to end up having to leave this ESPN website. Put that on pause. So, guys, that's pretty much all I've got. I'm going to pull up the remaining 2 games. Let's see. Wow, Buckeye Alex, he's on fire there in the chat. All right, there you go, guys. The final 2 games. The Wolverines are actually coming here next week to play Maryland. So I haven't decided if I'm going to that one. I don't even know if there are tickets left, but maybe I'll go to that one. I've gone to the 2 years Michigan has come here under Jimbo's leadership. I've gone to the games and stood outside Maryland Stadium and watched the team come out of the locker room and get on their buses. So the Wolverines are coming here next week. Should be a W. I imagine they're gonna try to win the game, but also they're gonna try to get out of here without any injuries to key players, because the big game is next week. So next week's game starts at 3:30 in the afternoon, and then the next week is the annual classic. So I know Buckeye Alex I know his mouth is salivating for that one. But hey, guys, who thought Michigan would be 9-1 when this season started? I think all of us were predicting, 7-4, and maybe they'd go 500 or something like that. I never suspected that they'd be 9-1 at this point in the season with this young team. And aside from a strip sack, the Wolverines could be 10-0 right now. They could be, but this is competitive athletics at its highest level. So, these things happen. You're relying on officials. You're relying on split-second calls, even though they did have a replay. The officials did have a replay on that strip sack. So there we are. I'm going to read through some of these comments, then I'm going to shut this down. Let's see what we got here. There's a lot of smack talk between Buckeye Alex and Denzel Merritt. I'm going to take a sip of my beverage here. Okay. So we got some buck nuts here. I think at that time, Ohio State was up 28-7. Denzel Merritt says they kicking Purdue's ass, don't even watch. AD says it's our house. He's talking about the big house. Denzel Merritt's Eric All was all in, LOL. Buckeye Alex says at Denzel, Purdue is too cute. That's why they're making mistakes. Denzel Merritt says ugly game, but that's Big Ten ball. Go blue. Denzel Merritt says 34-7 suck eyes. Denzel Merritt says enjoy it now because y'all have to come to us. Oh boy. Little Rock 25-17 says yo. Buckeye Alex says LOL, seriously, you haven't won in Ann Arbor in like 10 years, LOL. Yeah, I think this is the 10-year anniversary of the Denard Robinson Luke Fickell game. Buckeye Alex, Denzel Merritt says them days is over, LOL. Buckeye Alex says, you sure? 21 isn't gonna cut it, fam. Denzel Merritt says, won't be a blowout this year, but we getting that W. Just win next week, and then we'll settle all this talk. LOL. Oh yeah, by the way, some Buckeye fans came in the sports bar before I left, and I was like, hey, guys, beat Michigan State. Beat Michigan State. So regardless of how it turns out, if you guys knock off Michigan State for us, Buckeye Alex, that at least will make going into the game exciting, because that means that means that the winner of the game will go to the Big Ten championship East game. Let me say that again. The winner of the game will go to the Big Ten East championship game, assuming we don't get upset by Maryland. So it's very interesting. And they said this in the broadcast, how everything can kind of is going to shake out. But Ohio State's a better football team than Michigan State. So you guys should beat Michigan State. Hey, by the way, guys, there was also Auburn fans in there watching their game. They lost to Mississippi State, so I went in there and gave them a War Eagle just to do it. They gave me a Go Blue back. So, let's see. Denzel Merritt says, all we have to do is get more than y'all. It can be a 21-20 W. Buckeye Alex's bet. We'll do something you couldn't. Beat Sparty. Don't worry. We'll do that for you. And we would appreciate that. Denzel Merritt says, they've been cheating us this year like it's 2016. I don't want to hear that shit. LOL. If you're new coming in, please hit the like. Denzel Merritt says, again, they couldn't let y'all lose to us at home, but that's what paying the refs does. LOL. If you guys want to throw something in the tip jar, that's right there. Cash App, PayPal, Super Chat is live. Denzel Merritt says, everyone in the world besides Suck Eyes, no JT was short. Oh boy, here we go. Let me take a sip of my drink. Buckeye Alex says, typical that team up north fan. Losing is never your fault. Denzel Merritt says, I understand that Buckeyes have no eyes, just a useless, blind nut. I know, I live here. Also, Denzel lives in the Buckeye State. And when it comes to the elections, except for this year, the United States always goes the way, the presidential election always goes the way that Ohio goes, except for this year. That TD that Purdue just scored was nice, can't lie. He did push off, though. Buckeye Alex says it was a terrible call. The Big Ten refs still got to win the game. Denzel says, I know the feeling, but all season long, LOL. Stedman Graham, Oprah's Stedman. PSU fans talked hella smack after beating Michigan in the COVID year. Yep, they got to hold all these L's. Hurry, quarterback, hurt players, whatever. Laugh my ass off. A loss is a loss, period. Stedman says, PSU fans talked hella smack. Okay, I just read this one. Denzel said, that is true. I just hate the fact that a week later they admit they blew the calls. Well, at least they admitted it. At least they admitted it. At least Michigan State knows, and everybody knows that that kid's knee was not down. 42-14, I think Ohio State is up. Still no excuse for losing that game. Terrible coaching down the stretch. Well, Alex, sports are about momentum. And once the momentum swings, you don't know how your kids are going to react. And you just don't know. So you just don't know. But coaches should adjust as best they can. They probably should have loaded the box a bit more to stop Kenneth Walker. But also the strip sack was huge, and that momentum, once it swings, it's hard to swing it back. AD says after being up 16, and then Denzel Merritt says, sure didn't. I can't lie. Got a few more here. Denzel Merritt says, but shit, we've been better than I actually thought we was. Yep, same here. Stephen Cherry says, so Wolverines smelling themselves after beating an average Penn State squad. Y'all don't want no parts of that Buckeye smoke. You know what? I'm realistic. I said earlier in the stream that that's not going to get it done against the Scarlet and Gray. So no arguments here. And then Denzel Merritt says Oklahoma lost. Yeah, they lost to Baylor. But that might allow us to move up in the rankings. But ultimately, it's going to come down to winning these next two games for us. So they're going to have to show some more, give us some more on the offensive side to have a chance to beat Ohio State, to have a chance. Guys, I'm about done. Gonna run back out later on, get some dinner, maybe go smoke some cigars somewhere. But more folks coming in. Hey, hit the like button. At least help me get this stream into double-digit likes. I know folks are going to watch on the playback. Folks are probably watching Ohio State right now and Michigan State. But if you're new coming in, please hit the like. All right. Well, guys, that's pretty much all I have. Let's see what happens the next 2 weeks. The Wolverines should win here in the DMV next week, but you never know. You don't want to look past this Maryland team, and you don't want to sustain any major injuries the week before Ohio State. But the Wolverines have some more work to do before the Scarlet and Gray, the TTDS, before they come in to the big house in 2 weeks. All right, guys. Buckeye Alex says, call me Mr. Chimney. I want all the smoke. He says, like and subscribe, because the likes are free. The likes are free. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm going to look out to see what Johnny Olden has to say about this. I suspect he's also going to take issue with the offensive drought that took place in the second half as well. You're not going to beat Ohio State not being able to consistently move the ball like that. So, guys, enjoy your Saturday night. Enjoy the rest of your evening and the rest of your weekend. Please like, share, and subscribe. Go Blue. And as always, remember that your attitude determines your altitude. Take care, and I will talk to you the next time. Bye-bye.